So we certainly hope this course, The Basics, has given you some fundamental places to start when it comes to understanding world rhythm instruments, concepts, rhythm, and starting to incorporate those into your work right away. Perhaps you're inspired to learn more. Now that's what this bonus section is all about. Before I get into some of the resources that I'd like to introduce you to, the first thing I want to make sure that we do is to reiterate, as we have throughout the course, the need to play with live people and to connect with live teachers one-on-one. Search your local resources. Find out who the teachers are. If you want to learn conga, I'm sure there's a conga teacher within a certain distance of you, or even you got to drive a little bit, that's okay. I once drove all the way from Georgia to New York City just to take 1 or 2 lessons with 1 or 2 very specific people, and believe me, those lessons helped to change the way that I played. So I can't emphasize enough the value of lessons with real qualified, earnest teachers that are going to help perpetuate your learning down the road. The other thing is to find friends to play with. These instruments are meant to be played with people in an ethno-specific setting. So go ahead and find people to practice with, even if it's a drum circle, a local drum group, drums in the park, whatever it happens to be. That's really going to help to cement a lot of these basic concepts as well. Okay, here we go. Let's go ahead and get started right into some of the resources that can help move your interest in world percussion a little bit further. Okay, here we go. I've got several resources laid out here, and the biggest stack is probably what I'm going to call general knowledge. We have covered a lot of different instruments and not necessarily ethno-specifically related. For example, we haven't said here are all the instruments from Brazil, here are all the instruments from Cuba. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at what I consider resources for basic small percussion and some hand drumming as well. Some of them are ethno-specific, but they cover a lot of the instruments that we've covered in more of a general setting. Okay, well, we're just going to get started here. This is a resource that I enjoy, especially if you're working with kids. There's a whole series that Dr. Craig Woodson created. He's a fantastic resource, traveled the world, and puts together the Roots of Rhythm series. This is the Volume 1, World Drumming for All Ages. In here you'll find some basic concepts as well as some really wonderful information, some cultural info. And it's designed for teachers, again, if you're working more for kids, but I find it to be a fun resource, and if you've never taken a workshop with Dr. Craig Woodson, definitely do that. Now, the next couple of books are basic hand percussion books. We'll start with this one by our buddy Kalani, Basic Hand Percussion, a lot of techniques, and there is a CD that goes along with it, so you can hear these guys in action. A lot of ethno-specific instruments, but also marked trees and frogs and things like that. Now we're going to go ahead and cover a couple of ethno-specific books. These are Brazilian books. The reason I chose them is because a lot of the small percussion instruments that I like to play and that end up in drum circle kits are the small percussion instruments from Brazil. And shakers, agugu, reco-reco, and those things. So here's one by Ney Rezado, The ABCs of Brazilian Percussion. Very, very basic book. It does come with a DVD that's helpful to help you understand how to put a lot of these basic instruments into an ensemble setting. Ed Uribe, he's going to show up later in another chapter in this bonus section. He was considered for a long time sort of the author and the first guy to start putting a lot of these things into book and CD form. He has a couple of books. This is called The Essence of Brazilian Percussion and Drum Set, a great book to get started in a myriad of basic instruments, as well as some hand drums from Brazil as well. And then this one comes from Brazil. This is the Percussion and Music of Rio de Janeiro. This is a book by Oscar Balao, Batuque é Privilégio. It means that playing the drums is a privilege, and this guy really gets it. It's designed for musicians, arrangers, and composers. I like this one if you really want to dig deep into the music, the rhythms of Rio de Janeiro. And this is a fantastic book. I believe you should be able to get it on Amazon.com. It probably will have to be imported directly from Brazil. I pulled this one up. This is an Alfred publication, and this is a great book because there's a lot of basic hand drum techniques as well as small percussion instruments as well. This is called Hand Drumming Essentials by Cia Grosso, the instruments, techniques, and compositions for ensemble performance. And I like this one as well, especially when putting together simple ideas. I think there are some rhythm chants in here, some notation, as well as some basic hand drumming exercises to sort of shore up what we've been covering so far in this course. All right, there we go, some basic stuff. Moving on to West Africa.